Okay, so we will now be discussing the derivatives of transforms. So this is Laplace transform of t to the n multiplied by any function of t is given by negative 1 raised to the n power. So whatever the exponent of t must be the exponent of negative 1. Then nth derivative with respect to s of the Laplace transform of that function. So halimbawa, I have here Laplace transform of t squared e to the 3t. So that is our n is equal to 2. Then our f of t here is equal to e to the 3t. Then Laplace transform of f of t there, e to 3t, is equal to 1 over s minus 3. So this is therefore equal to negative 1. Exponent natin is n. Then take the second derivative with respect to s of the Laplace transform of f of t, which is 1 over s minus 3. So this is negative 1 raised to the n, that is 2, which is positive 1. Then what we are going to do is to take the second derivative with respect to s of 1 over s minus 3. So taking the first derivative, so let y be equal to 1 over s minus 3. So ang required is y double prime because that is what we are looking for. So taking the first derivative using derivative of a constant over v is negative k dv over v squared. So this is negative 1 times the derivative of s minus 3 all over s minus 3 raised to the second power. So this is negative times derivative of s minus 3 is 1 over s minus 3 raised to the second power. So we have y prime be equal to negative 1 over s minus 3 squared. So since ang require ay second derivative, kukunin ko ulit ang derivative nito. So this is, our k there is negative 1. So negative of k, which is negative 1, times derivative of s minus 3 raised to the second power over s minus 3 raised to the second power squared. So y double prime now here is negative times negative is positive 1. Derivative of s minus 3 squared is 2. S minus 3 to the 1 multiplied by the derivative of s is 1 all over s minus 3 to the fourth power. And that s minus 3 cancels out with that 4. May matitira tayong 3. So therefore, our second derivative is 2 over s minus 3 to the third power. So this must be the answer to the Laplace transform of t squared e to the 3t. So therefore, Laplace transform of t squared e to the 3t is equal to 2 over s minus 3 cubed, which kapag ginamitan natin ang formula na Laplace transform of t to the n e to the at, that is equal to n factorial over s minus a raised to n plus 1. So since n natin is 2, so proving that that's 2 factorial over s. Our a here is 3, so that's s minus 3 raised to 2 plus 1. And 2 factorial is 2. So therefore, we have proven that the Laplace transform of t squared e to the 3t is equal to 2 over s minus 3 to the third power using this predefined formula and using derivatives of transform. So another example. So what if I wish to find the Laplace transform of t cubed hyperbolic cosine of 2t? So we wish to find the t cube, the Laplace transform of t cube hyperbolic cosine of 2t. So first, so this is, we are to use negative 1 to the n and derivative with respect to s of the Laplace transform of the given f of t. So that is for Laplace transform of t to the n f of t. So identify natin kung ano ang ating f of t. So our f of t here is hyperbolic cosine of 2t. So hyperbolic cosine 2t whose Laplace transform is s over s squared minus 4. So hyperbolic cosine 2t is s over s squared minus 4. So therefore, the Laplace transform of t cubed hyperbolic cosine 2t is negative 1 to the third power, third derivative with respect to s of s over s squared minus 4. So yan ang hahanapin natin. So negative 1 cube is negative 1, third derivative with respect to s of s over s squared minus 4. So we will get the third derivative of s over s squared minus 4 preceded by a negative. So let us try to equate y be equal to s over s squared minus 4. So let's take the first derivative. So we will use v du minus u dv over v squared. So this is s squared minus 4 raised to the second power, s squared minus 4 times 1, that's v times derivative of s is 1, minus s times the derivative of s squared minus 4 is 2s. So simplifying this gives s squared minus 4 minus 2s squared over s squared minus 4 raised to the second power. So this is negative s squared minus 4 over s squared minus 4 squared. So let's get the second derivative now. So this is s squared minus 4 raised to the second power raised to the second power. So that's s squared minus 4 raised to the second power times the derivative of negative s squared minus 4 is negative 2s minus the quantity negative s squared minus 4 multiplied by the derivative of s squared minus 4 squared. So that is 2 s squared minus 4 multiplied by 2s. So simplifying that, that gives us x squared minus 4 raised to the second power. So common natin is s squared minus 4 squared, x squared minus 4. So common is s squared minus 4. You have 2s, you have 2s, factor out natin ang 2s. And then we have negative, that gives us negative quantity. So this becomes s squared minus 4. So since we have factored out that negative, so magiging positive na to. Negative s squared minus 4 times 2. And then this s squared minus 4 and 2s is your common factor there. So simplifying that, this s squared minus 4 cancels out with that. So this must be to the fourth na. Because squared squared is to the fourth. Cancels out with that squared, may matitirang 3. Then y double prime here is s squared minus 4 cube negative 2s times the quantity s squared minus 4 minus 2s squared minus 8. So this is minus 2s squared minus 8. So y double is negative 2s negative s squared minus 12 s squared minus 4 cube. Then finally, we have y double prime as s squared minus 4 cube 2s squared times s is 2x cubed plus 24s. So because negative times negative is are both positive. So this is second derivative. Then we need third derivative. So let me rewrite second derivative. That's 2s cubed plus 24 over s squared minus 4 to the third power. Then taking the derivative again, third derivative, that's s squared minus 4 to the third to the second, s squared minus 4 to the third times the derivative of that, that's 6s squared minus 2s cubed plus 24. Dapat may s ito. So, kung may s yon, dapat meron ditong plus 24. 6s squared plus 24. minus 2s cubed plus 24s times the derivative of s squared minus 4. Cube is 3. S squared minus 4 squared times 2s. Then y triple prime here is s squared minus 4. We have cube squared, so factoring that squared out, you have here 6 and 24. So meron tayo dyang 6 times the quantity s squared plus 4. So 6 and the 6 here, I common factor. I can factor that out. So that gives us s squared plus 4 multiplied by s squared minus 4. From that cube there, na kinuhanan natin ang square dito, minus the quantity, you factored out 6 and this one. So may matitira tayong s times 2s cubed plus 24s. That's s squared minus 4 to the 6. And that squared cancels out with 6. May matitira tayong 4. We have y triple prime is equal to 6 times s to the 4th minus 16 minus 2s to the 4th minus 24s squared all over s squared minus 4 to the 4th power. So simplifying further, you have 6 times the quantity, s to the 4th minus that is negative 2s to the 4th minus s to the 4th or plus s to the 4th minus 16 minus 24s squared, s squared minus 4 to the 4th. I combined lang yung parehas ng exponent or ng term. So combining the two, y triple prime is negative 6 kasi this when combined is negative s to the 4th. You have negative 16, you have negative 24. Factoring all that negative, magiging negative 6 na. S to the 4th plus 24s plus 16 all over s squared minus 4 to the 4th. So, since this is your third derivative, at ang hinahanap nating Laplace transform ay negative of that third derivative, therefore, Laplace transform of t cubed hyperbolic cosine 2t is negative of negative 6 s to the 4th plus 24s plus 16 squared. I forgot that squared. All over s squared minus 4 to the 4th. And that negative and negative cancels out. Magiging positive na. This is t cubed cosine hyperbolic 2t is 6 times s to the 4th plus 2s squared plus 16 all over s squared minus 4 to the 4th power. So that therefore is the answer there.